number 11. Shout out to everybody that's hopping in here extra early on this beautiful morning. Thank you all so much for joining us early on that regard. Happy to see some very familiar faces. It's almost as if this is a legacy brand with a strong community. Who would have imagined? Thank you guys so much. We're going to make sure that we get this bad boy underway as soon as possible. As always, we're going to have some opportunities for you to walk away with some rewards, and that is going to come in the form of a giveaway. Tess, can you let them know what they're eligible to walk away with today and what we've been doing in every single space and how they can hop in and take advantage of this?
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you guys are. Super excited. Tess here, aka Her Crypto with the Bulls and Apes Project. Welcome to our Megaspace. And as Chris said, yeah, we've been giving away some things each week as you lovely people have joined us each and every week. It's been great. And today is going to be no different. So we've got one of our amazing dynamic PFP NFTs apes for you. So our dynamic apes are fully customizable. They have traits that they will come with a few on, but you can go in and open loot boxes. And if you're not familiar with any of this, head to our website, bullsandapesproject.com. Go to the configurator. You can actually play with our configurator, use a demo ape. And the thing about the apes, there's males and females. So you can dress them up, you can check out the traits, and you can try before you buy. But you may be one of the lucky ones to win here. So to get entered to win, we'll pin up that tweet that we sent out earlier. So you're going to go on there and do the old usual space hangout, retweet tag 3, and be sure to follow BAP.
Absolutely amazing. Now, I usually open up this with, well, I don't usually, but sometimes when I'm feeling a little cheeky, I'll open this up with sponsored by, and then I'll say something goofy along the lines of Tess at the top of a mountain out of breath, referring to one of her most recent posts, just to poke and prod and have some fun and tease. But it happens that we have a sponsor for this space that we're very excited to be showcasing, very, very, very eager to dive into. As we progress into the AMA today, we're going to be taking the in-between moments to make sure that we go over this project once again and all of the beautiful things that they're doing. So this is your very few reminders to hop in today's AMA giveaway for that ape, because guess what? We have an amazing sponsor today, and that's going to be Pirates of Fukushu. And I hope I pronounced that correctly, but we're going to get them up as a co-host here very, very soon, and we'll make sure that we're pronouncing that correctly. But everybody, make sure that you give a very, very warm welcome to today's sponsor, and that's going to be Pirates of Fukushu, who have a phenomenal looking project that I'm very excited to dive into. So guys, without further ado, let me get some time here to make sure we get everybody up on the space. Tess, if we could get up Pirates as a co-host. In the meantime, I'll make sure that I get all of the other guests up here as attendees, and we'll make sure that we give these guys some extra love today. Everybody from the Bulls and Apes Project community, make sure you show some love. This is a community that is now supporting us directly, so guess what? We're going to return the favor, and we're going to show them what we are about here at BAP. So do us justice. Make sure you guys are following Pirates of Fukushu, and you guys are showing them the absolute love that our community is filled with. I'm seeing the hearts all down below already, and I appreciate you guys in advance. So, give me one moment. Let me make sure that I can take a look here and see what we have to put up here. I believe we have a nice little lineup of projects, and that's going to be a lineup of meta rides. That's going to be a lineup of Particle Inc. Footprint data, and then of course today's sponsor, Pirates Fukushu. So let me get these guys up right now, and we will be good to go here very, very soon. Let me get these guys added. There's Pirates right there. Beautiful. Absolutely amazing. As we get these guys up here and connecting, one last final reminder, guys, because we're not going to be able to do it. We're going to be highlighting this amazing sponsor in today's AMA, and that's going to be the Megaspace episode number 11, sponsored by Pirates Fukushu, and they are now up on the stage. Guys, welcome so much. We usually kind of kickstart these spaces talking about ourselves, but knowing how amazing of an effort that you guys are putting out here, going on your AMA tours, and also the activity and attempts to build a community, I want to say thank you so much for supporting us, and we look forward to supporting you. And perhaps, who knows, guys, this could be a detailed partnership in the making. But Pirates Fukushu, thank you guys for coming up here. Please introduce yourselves. We'd love to put the highlight of the space on yourselves now. For a quick little intro, we'll go into the first project, come back to you, give you a whole panel for yourself so everybody knows the beautiful things that you guys are building, because it is going to be an exciting one, everybody. Pirates Fukushu hopping up here for the introduction. Please take it away.
Hey guys, yeah, no, all thanks is to you guys. Thanks for providing us a stage, right? It's so cool to be able to share with other projects and yeah, dive into communities such as yours. So yeah, no, we're super stoked to be here. Super stoked to be able to sponsor you guys. I myself am Johnny. I'm kind of like the community builder slash manager slash I don't even know. I think in 2 years we're gonna have a new term for my job in Web3, to be honest.
He's an everything guy. He's got to
Yeah,
be an everything
a Johnny of all trades, right? And I brought with us today, Dr. Jones. He's down in the audience. Our founder is also gonna come up and share a bit on our project from a founder's perspective. So yeah, we're super stoked to be here. If you want, I can give a super short introduction before we get into the first awesome project.
That would be absolutely amazing, guys. And as always, we're going to gloss back over to you for some particular questions before we get to your primary panel. But yeah, that would be phenomenal. Please take it away.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to sum it up very simply because usually when I listen to Twitter Spaces, right, I want people to come to the point and to be direct with what they are doing. So we are a cinematic universe where different people groups get sold as digital collectibles, that the characters get sold as digital collectibles. So pretty much we're writing a story. The story entails a whole universe of characters. If you think of big cinematic universes, you know, a Lord of the Rings comes to mind, or Harry Potter. It's basically a similar idea, right? Just that we're tokenizing it, token gating it. So basically you can own one of the characters as digital collectibles. So far, we've sold out 2 collections of the same size as the Pirates, and that was on our first chain because we've recently gone multi-chain, something we've wanted to do for a long time. So yeah, we've sold out 2 collections, 5,555 on the Silica blockchain, small blockchain, super welcoming, awesome community. And yeah, now we're here on Ethereum trying to build the multi-chain community, right? And build another leg for us here. And yeah, that's the super simple, super easy sum up. That's what we're doing. We're filmmaking, we're anime, and we're community and creators first.
Welcome up to the stage, Dr. Jones. I have a question for you, particularly since you are hopping up here, and thank you so much for that descriptor of what you guys are building. You know, and it piques my curiosity. You guys said you're multi-chain. I would love to hear a little bit more about the past collection, so people here can have a sense of some of the accomplishments that you guys already have behind you and your team structure's ability to deliver. Dr. Jones, very broad question, but however you want to answer that in terms of, you know, some of the previous collections and some of the prior accomplishments, I'm happy to hear it from the horse's mouth.
All right. Johnny was doing so good, I started eating pizza, and I was like, oh no, I'm going to have to talk now. Yeah, no, thank you so much for having us. We're really excited to be here. We're really excited about Pirates Fukushu, and yeah, just the opportunity to show what we've been building for a year and a half now. So we started back 2 years ago. I myself am a filmmaker by trade, been in the film industry for over 13 years now, and crypto since 2017, NFT since 2020. And I guess the kind of goes is, as we just saw NFTs, like as I saw NFTs growing, as I saw these communities coming around NFTs, for example, like when people really started gathering around like projects, for example, Bored Ape Yacht Club or any of the such as your guys' community, as well as like, it's just so powerful, right? Seeing communities come around, joining a project, joining a vision, you know, joining a community really. And for us, after our first collection, the Soulless Citadel, we started as like a story-based NFT project. We got such well received from our awesome community that we really went for it. So we started. We got some really great people on our team. We added Janet and Lee Batcher to our story development team, who they did like Batman Forever, and she's a screenwriting professor at USC. And from there, we started creating the screenplay. And as we got deep into it, then we realized it's more of a universe, right? So we have spent the last year and a half now building the foundation of the cinematic universe, all these different people groups and different storylines that all intertwine. They have their own storylines completely, but then intertwine deeply like into the grand story arc of our universe. So yeah, so no, I think Johnny explained it very well and quickly, and I don't want to keep blabbing, but that's kind of like an overview of what we've been building and what we've been doing for the past almost couple of years now.
Absolutely amazing, guys. Super excited to have you guys on the space and learn more about what you guys are building. I'm sure I'll touch base on, the previous question there. Once again, I like to be a little thorough, and I really do like to hear about some of the, the journey that goes behind what is kind of pioneering and building out the space before us, because this is not the same space that it used to be, guys. And if you have builders here now, these are people that are highly ambitious and very positively minded for the industry that we're all operating in. And I have nothing but the utmost respect for everybody that spends their time and works on projects in the space. And that goes for all of our panelists today, and not just our amazing sponsors at Pirate Fukushu. Guys, we're going to come back to you. We're going to make sure that you have the opportunity to close out the space with the primary panel. And I have an announcement that I think the community is going to be very excited for, so make sure you tune in to hear some special news about Pirate Fukushu that I think you guys are going to be really excited about. So make sure you're staying tuned in, tagging some friends on that BAP giveaway post. All you got to do, tag 3 friends, make sure you're following us, and guess what? I want to make sure that you're following Pirates Fukushu today as well, so make sure you're giving them a follow, because that is completely free to do. Staying up to date with that intel is going to be super important as they continue to make their rounds throughout the space. And we have the opportunity to learn firsthand, and that is something in itself that I can't be any more proud of to provide everybody here today. So without further ado, with the note of building in a space where market conditions are not the same, I'm very happy to segue this into our first speaker, who I'm going to go ahead and just choose at random. I'm closing my eyes, meeny, miny, mo. We're going to go with Metarides. Metarides, hop up here. Feel free to hop into the space and let us know exactly what you have going on. Happy to hear it from the horse's mouth and hear exactly, what makes you guys passionate about building in this market. Please hop up here. Thank you so much for joining us, Metarides. Welcome.
Thank you. Firstly, shout out to Bulls and Ape Projects and to Pirates of Fukushu and all the other speakers that will give us their presence today. And more importantly, what I like to do is I like to acknowledge the listeners who come to every space. They support us. They are with us through thick and thin, through the bull and the bear market. And without every one of you listeners down there in the audience, us founders are nobodies. What we're building means nothing without the support of the community. So shout out to all of you, and also to all the partners who aren't here in the space that give us the time to spend in the space. It's closing in on midnight here in Australia, and we're just blessed to be here and blessed that we have partners in our lives that give us the time to dedicate to what we're building in Web3. So just wanted to get that out first and foremost. So thank you to all of you. But I am Craig. I am the co-founder of Metarides with my business partner is Hermie. Most of you know Hermie. And we are building the Web3. We are not building a project, we're building a brand. So, and I love when people say they're building a brand in Web3, right? So from a marketing perspective, let's use that when you're talking about what you're doing in Web3. We're building a brand. So our brand revolves around Web3 gaming with Metarides Racing and full interoperability between gaming and metaverse. So I'll explain that a little bit more. So when you go into a gaming environment, whether it be Need for Speed or Fast and Furious or whatever game you go into, all of the assets you utilize in that game, you don't own any of those. And when you leave that game, the assets stay within that game. So what we've created with Metarides, and we believe from the feedback we've got from Unreal Engine and Unity themselves, we are the first to successfully complete this. So our assets are fully interoperable. So once you finish playing in Metarides racing game, that asset is locked in your wallet. And if you then open that wallet inside any Unity or Unreal Engine built metaverse, you can access that vehicle, that garage, that environment, that racing game, whatever it is you own, and you can utilize that within that metaverse environment. So that's the basis of what we're doing. You know, part of what we've also built is inside every one of our vehicles and environments is MetaRides Radio, which is our radio platform that is solely dedicated to Web3 musicians. There is no mainstream media on our platform. It is all Web3 musicians. It is a free platform and it is royalty free. So each time you hear a song or a track from, let's say, Sammy Arriaga or Violetta Zeroni playing inside of our game, you can purchase that track from inside the vehicle while you're sitting there, hit the buy it now button. It takes you direct to their sales platform. So if they're on SoundCloud or Spotify, whatever their platform is, it's a direct interaction between you, the user, and the musician. 100% royalty free. Every part of the proceeds goes direct to the musician. So it is super cool. We are blessed to have the one of the lead developers from EA Sports who built the Need for Speed franchise, building our game. So it is so much fun to sit and work every single day. You know, we're like two big kids in a toy store getting to build this for the community. So, you know, anybody in the audience that's got ideas or feedback or what you would like to see in terms of metaverse assets or gaming assets in terms of a race game, we want to hear from you because we want to build meta rides for what the community want, not what we want. So blessed to be here.
I'll tell you what I want. I want to see a Bulls and Apes Project X Pirates of Fukushu car inside of this game. That's what I want. I think that's what the people want. I don't know. I mean, I might be speaking a little out of turn here on behalf of all the fantastic faces and guests here today, but I think that would be a pretty cool looking car. A little Bulls and Apes Project X Pirates of Fukushu. Can we get something like that happening? Is that a possibility?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've already had initial discussions with Anthony behind the scenes, but nothing has been formalized or anything yet. But so what we're currently, our game is currently on Steam, right? It's been uploaded to Steam. It's in test mode right now. So all of our holders and our invited streamers and gamers are testing it right now. It'll be live to the public shortly, but it's stage one of our game build, right? So stage two is being built right now, and stage one, when you get in there, is public access. It is single player, and it is just race against the clock to get the experience and to experience what the guy from Need for Speed's been able to build. Stage two, we incorporate additional features which are multiplayer, the ability to create your very own race team. So you can have the Bulls and Apes race team, you can have the Comards NFT race team, you can have the Bored Ape Yacht Club race team, and you can invite your own friends and your own people to come and join your race team, and then you can race against any other race team. There'll be tournaments, there'll be weekly events, there'll be monthly events, there'll be, you know, a challenge area where you can, you know, face a challenge and earn in-game currency to spend in the store or things like that. So there's so many different aspects that will come as we progress. But part of it is, you know, building out metaverse and gaming vehicles and assets for other Web3.
Uh-oh.
You go in one or Income Island or any of those metaverses, you can purchase a billboard to advertise and promote your brand. Let's say it's $1,000 a month to purchase that billboard.
Ooh, did you cut out again, or was that a pause and thought? MetaRides?
Brand, can you not hear me?
Ooh.
Hello?
Well, there's been a couple moments. I think a platypus is gnawing on one of the cords outside.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, you're solid, my friend. It's only been small lapses of you cutting out.
Okay.
We've been able to understand almost everything. I just wanted to make sure that you were able to get out
Okay,
this important part because it sounded cool. Billboards on the game that are possible to rent out. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, so what I'm saying is when you go into a metaverse environment, you can purchase a billboard inside that metaverse environment for, say, $1,000 a month. You can put the Bulls and Eight Project banners or advertising material on that billboard. What we can do is we can provide you with 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 custom branded metaverse ready and gaming ready Bulls and Eight Project vehicles, branded and wrapped in your own design, that you can then, one, you sell them to your community, so you generate a revenue from the sale of that asset. But two, you now have 1,000, 5,000 or 10,000 mobile billboards driving around the thousands of different Unity and Unreal Metaverse Unity and Unreal Engine metaverse worlds as they get launched. So it becomes a branding and marketing tool for your brand as well. So it's super cool. You don't have to go and spend money on billboards because you've now got 1,000 mobile billboards that your holders take out of their wallet. They drive around in all of those different metaverses and get exposure across a plethora of different environments in the virtual world. So it's super cool. And like I said, we're blessed, we're blessed to have so many quality, we've got a team of 13 developers who are building the game and building the metaverse environments and assets, led by the guy from EA Sports. So we are blessed to be here and being able to complete interoperability for one, which was, we've been building this now for 2 years, and with this current developer for 18 months. So we've only just launched our game. It's taken us 18 months to get to the point where we were 100% happy with it. And now we've progressed to stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. But like I said, the important aspect of what we are building is we want to know what you, the community, want. We don't want to build what Mike and Craig want and deliver you something that we want. We want to know what you want. If you want to see demolition derbies, if you want to see dirt track racing or, go-kart racing, whatever it is you want to see, that's what we want to build. So hit us up, reach out. Our DMs are there. We're always open to partnerships, collaborations, and talking to other Web3 people and brands. So just reach out anytime.
That's absolutely amazing. And I got to say, man, everything that you were kind of ramping up with was absolutely exciting. The whole chat was going crazy with emotes. I think the key takeaways there is the interoperability and also the option to literally take place in community decision, which makes Web3 games so special, in my opinion. Being able to not only at the ground level influence exactly the types of things that you want to see within the game, but also see them implemented in real time. The development process has always been a process of work on and deliver and share. And the amazing thing about Web3 video games is that you have the option to provide a little bit more intimate connection. And this usually involves the community at scale to where they can absolutely make decisions. And it's refreshing to hear you reinforce that. I think it's also particularly exciting that you have former talent from EA or possibly even current talent at EA, regardless, working on the game, coming from a very notable title such as Need for Speed. I mean, that itself, I would be intimidated, having that kind of associated with my project. Do you guys ever get a little worried about, the comparison effect that, some people ruthlessly make in the Web3, well, not the Web3, but the video game industry?
Yeah, we do. And it's like when you look at our game, it is, there's aspects of it that look similar to Need for Speed, but they're not. It's all custom built from scratch. And obviously his mind works from the Need for Speed angle because that's what he's been building over the entire franchise for the last 10 years, So he's definitely Need for Speed minded, but he's also, and it's not just him, like I said, we've got a team of 13 developers and 4 of those are vehicle designers and asset designers, and the other 9 are our game developers. So, when we mix we've got one team who are designing vehicles and garages and environments and racetracks and all the different aspects, and then they're handing them over to the EA Sports guys, and they're building out the platform, or the guys led by the gentleman from EA Sports. And it's so cool to watch them build, right? It's so cool to give them an idea and see them turn it into a conceptual aspect that we can deliver to the community, and then to go back to the community and let them into look at it and play with it and test it, and then get their feedback and make those adjustments that they find, not that what Mike and Craig find, like I said, but what the community find that they want either added or removed, or if they find, for example, when we first launched it on Steam, there was one tree in an environment that was half off the track and half on the track. So as people were trying to drive past, they were hitting this tree. So, we didn't notice that because we're looking at the holistic approach, but as people were driving around, a few people had run in and collided with this tree that was sort of half on the track. So that had to be updated. So, but without the feedback and input from the community, these games are nothing, right? We can build anything we want, but without that interaction and feedback, it's a worthless effort, because you need to deliver, as you guys know from what you're building, you need to deliver something that is tangible for the user, right? The end user, and that user experience is the most important aspect of any sort of Web3 gaming. So, and when you think about the big picture, right, what it costs to create a 3D asset that is fully interoperable between gaming and metaverse, that is rigged and animated, that works 100%, it's a very expensive process to build one vehicle, right? So as we launch, stage 2, more vehicles will be added. As we launch stage 3, more vehicles will be added. And at some point in the future, you will be able to customize and make your very own vehicle and have your own wheels, your own tires, your own, window tint, your own textured wrap on it. So if you want your own branded wrap on it, but that's future down the track. That's being built out as we go. So lots of things happening. And like I said, we're just blessed to be here, in the presence of other founders, in other leaders in the Web3 space who are building and, doing something that is for the longevity of the space.
I love it. I'm a big fan of what you guys are already building, and I haven't even had the full opportunity to dive deep into it myself. I'm going to be putting that on my to-do list. It sounds like, even with kind of like the comparison effect that will naturally happen having such a top talent on your team. And for anybody that's just tuning in, you guys are listening to Meta Rides, a very, very promising racing game that is coming from the talent of former EA or current EA. I don't want to butcher that. I don't want to also slander. And this is talent that worked on the Need for Speed game. So that the type of quality that they're going to have to assess and also have in terms of comparisons, and also their personal desire for quality, as well as the community desire to adhere to, is going to be astronomical at level. And I have no doubt in my mind, especially after hearing you guys talk about the interoperability and also your desire to make sure that the community needs are met, I think you guys are going to do fine. Everybody that is in here right now, make sure you guys are throwing a follow on Meta Rides. It's completely free to do. To close this segment out, though, Meta Rides, what is the best way for people to get involved with your project? Is it a website, Discord, hop in? Do we want to send them over and get them straight into the game? What's the best way for people to get involved other than that free follow, which they should be doing right now?
Yeah, so I mean, the easiest way to get involved, we're minting. We've got our site is set up at mint.metarides.io for our first collection of vehicles, which is an exclusive partnership with Unstoppable Domains. You can visit our website, obviously, at metarides.io. We have in our bio of the profile is our links page on our website, which gives you all of our socials, our Discord. So yeah, jump in, get in the Discord. We do some gaming in there and some other things in there. So yeah, it's super cool. But like I said, if you want to get involved and for when we launch stage 2, where you can bring your own vehicles into the game. So at the moment, when you get into stage 1, it's the native vehicle of the game that you get to drive around and test and do all of the fun stuff. And then as we progress into stage 2 and stage 3, there'll be that wallet integration where whatever asset you own in your wallet is the asset you can open inside our game and then race around in the game. So like I said, that's mint.metarides.io. So we have all of our NFTs or our 3D assets are priced at a set price It's USDC on Polygon to save fluctuation in the price. So it is just under $50 per vehicle, and that is for our first vehicle, which is a hyper realistic supercar. They are super cool, and people have been very excited to get their hands on those so far.
Absolutely amazing. Guys, make sure you're taking advantage of all of these CTAs, checking out that website, and getting involved with the project. One final consideration that I'll pass off to your team, and this is a legitimate consideration to take into account. I would consider possibly allowing reskinning or retrading for these cars, because I'll tell you what, with some of our guys aping in and we add some, let's say, some Bulls and Apes project cars into the game at some point, I want to make sure that all these guys have the opportunity to reskin, retrade, and make sure that they can ride around representing the legacy brands that they love. So I don't know if this is something that you guys have considered, but I'll leave you with that consideration. And guys, I'm super excited about what Meta Rides just went through. If you're just tuning in, this is going to be probably a game that you need to be keeping your eye on. I think we need to have staples in the community that are setting great examples like these guys are. And I love the way that they're going about it. So make sure you guys are tapping in, giving them a follow, going over to the website, seeing if it's for you. If it's not, hop in their Discord anyways. Because guess what? I'm sure that there's going to be some community insight that could change your mind, or at least give you the alpha to look out for. So take advantage of these CTAs, and thank you so much to Meta Rides for hopping in here today to share their beautiful game. I really appreciate you guys. Amazing. And this episode is sponsored. BAP Megaspace episode 11, Pirates of Fukushu. We're going to tap back in with them very, very shortly here to kind of set a tone here. We are pushing 130 live listeners. I have a talking point that I would love to stir up some engagement. If you guys are tapped in, locked and loaded with me, I'm curious, has everybody been paying attention to some of the congressman grillings of Gary from the SEC? I was talking about this with Tess recently, and this has kind of been a guilty pleasure of ours, where I have personally admitted to getting so excited and happy by how the congressmen are addressing Gary that I have actually physically hit the air with my fists in excitement. So that's the talking point for the conversation here. Have you guys been seeing all of this take place? Are you having any strong opinions about Gary? Do you think that there needs to be the type of regulation that he is suggesting, or do we think that it's inappropriate? I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know. I will be pinning up some top comments in regards to this. Let us know how you feel about some of those clips that went out. Myself personally, super giddy. I know Tess was as well. We were so happy. I was messaging her. I think my exact words were orgasms of the ear. So you know my feelings on it, but I want to know your feelings. So hop into the comments. Let us know if you've been paying attention to some of the news coming out and how you feel about it and how you feel about Gary and possibly the SEC as an entirety. And yeah, I'd be happy to see it. Regardless, we're going to tap back over to our sponsors, and that's going to be Pirates of Fukushu. You know, we left off talking about some of the previous accomplishments that you guys have already had, selling out numerous collections, being a multi on-chain, I dare I say possibly a DAO or an organization. How would you guys classify your approach to the market?
Yeah, I think we've coined ourselves a new term, to be honest, because everything we looked into wasn't quite fitting for what we're doing. So the way we're usually phrasing it is we say we're a cinematic anime universe empowered by NFTs.
Interesting. That's actually, can you repeat that one more time? Because this is a pretty fresh take.
Yeah, it's a cinematic anime universe empowered by NFTs. In the sense of cinematic universe, I think everybody gets of it's not just one movie, it's not just one storyline, but you have a universe of different storylines all interacting with different communities, different people groups all interacting. Anime, in a sense, obviously, talks to how our the type of movies, the type of series that we're doing, and empowered by NFTs in a sense because we're first of all using our NFTs as token gating, so to say the characters. So the characters are digital collectibles that you can own on the blockchain. So yeah, that is pretty much the whole thing, and of course, using the the characters then to, you know who your community is, you know who your holders are, so you are able to empowered for NFTs in a sense of you're able to give them a different experience of film, different experience that they've ever had before, right? Because it just hasn't been possible before. The technology wasn't there.
So I'm assuming then if we're going to be going with the route of, branding ourselves as this interactive anime experience, is it in your guys' hopes that this is an IP that will develop over time? And if so, are you guys considering other facets of entertainment other than NFTs?
Yeah, most definitely. So what we've done with our first collection, which we plan to do for our whole universe, and my head's already spinning with meta writers because I really love that talk, man. That you guys, it's incredible what you're building. It's really exciting. It's exciting to see things being built, like of worth on the chains and stuff. So this is really exciting. But so for our first collection, we just developed our 3D avatars for each. So out of our 5,555 Solar Citadel, 2D art is now paired with 3D ready and rigged avatars. So ready to be plugged in games or metaverse or what comes up. So we plan to do that for our whole universe. And yeah, when you're building an IP of a whole universe, and we've taken so much time, right, to build that foundation, it makes sense as you build the IP and stuff to branch out into other things. So we've broken down kind of our whole plan into different phases and what that looks like and what we're shooting for first, which is, of course, we are the cinematic universe. So we're focusing mainly on series and our films, but we are preparing and stuff for the expansion.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
IP into what it looks like into games and metaverse and everything like that. So we're kind of preparing for that already.
Absolutely amazing, and I think that's a wise decision, right? If we use case studies like Doodles, for example, if you have a very strong foundation of art and you have a passion for art, uh, you know, franchising becomes pretty natural. So I like that you guys are keeping this in the back of your minds as you lay out your considerations and also your game plan, because realistically speaking, I think owners like yourselves should have this mindset, and I think it's something that was lacking a little bit towards some of the worst ends of the bear market. We started seeing the tail end of copy paste projects and derivatives, and we had the introduction of even the tokenomics or altcoin season. There's a less pleasant term for that, but I'll hold my tongue. I think it's important that you guys have game plans like this, and if you're a founder out there, you're somebody that's considering booting up a project, I highly recommend you approach it just like our sponsors here today, Pirates of Fukushu. You have to have this type of realization in your head before it's even realized. The self-gratification has to be delayed. You have to pre-plan in advance and build a brand that people are going to be excited about. And the fact that you guys are considering these things is it's amazing to me. Pirates of Fukushu, thank you so much. We're going to come back to you at the end of the space here and make sure we get a full panel talking about everything that you're building. Of course, if you guys have been paying attention today in the audience, we do have an announcement that's going to be coming out in regards to this beautiful project. So make sure you're staying tuned in, taking advantage of active giveaways for the apes, and then also staying a little bit ready for a little curveball. The very first curveball of Megaspaces, episode number 11, is the day that we're going to be debuting one of them. So thank you guys again from Pirates of Fukushu. We're going to come back to you. Make sure you guys are all giving them a follow in advance. I'm going to be begging you to do it because these are creators that I think are going to be impactful in a positive way for the space. So thank you. Let's move on to another very interesting project. I happen to be somebody that's a big fan of utility stack projects. I think analytics is something that is very undervalued currently at this time in the NFT marketplace and Web3 as an entirety. And quite frankly, I think companies like this usually have the most prowess in market conditions of all sizes and types. And that's going to be your utility stack providers. So I'm super, super excited to dive in with this next panelist here today, and that's going to be Footprint Analytics. Please hop on board, introduce yourself, and let us know what you're about. Welcome to the Bulls and Apes Project Megaspace number 11, sponsored by Pirates of Fukushu.
Hey, what up, everybody? It's Alex from Footprint. Happy to be here. Thank you guys for the invite. Let's go, baby. Like I said, I'm really excited to be on this space today and talk a little bit about Footprint. So, I guess a good way to start is, what the heck is Footprint Analytics? Well, Footprint Analytics is kind of your one-stop shop when it comes to blockchain data, right? I guess the long and short of it is we combine Web 2 and Web 3 data via abstractions. You're probably asking, what the heck is abstractions? Well, abstract. I've had a couple of
Dude,
beers, boys.
hey,
It's late.
no, I'll tell you what. You could say whatever you want on this space, my friend. There is no caption or censorship here for our panelists. So don't feel like you have to stop yourself. I like to be nice and correct, but I sometimes will get passionate and let it loose myself. You know what? I'm gonna say it. Altcoins, shitcoins, same thing. Let's move on. Footprint, take it away.
Yeah, so like I said, what the heck is abstractions? Well, essentially, what we do is we take this data on chain and we turn it into categories so that you and anybody here listening can actually access data without having to do any coding, which is sweet, right? Anytime I don't have to use SQL to get blockchain data, I call that a dub. So that should be a dub for you. I mean, if I'm making dashboards for NFTs, for Dogecoin, whatever the heck I want to make, that means you can too. Not only that, but we cover a ton of chains as well. We got 27 chains. We currently cover over 1.8 million NFT collections across 18 different marketplaces. So if you guys want to check out your favorite NFT, go to our website, footprint.network, go to our research page, go to single collection stats, plug in that contract address, and boom, you got an automatic dashboard of what's going on with your favorite project. So, some of the chains we include were like Starknet, obviously Ethereum, Polygon, ZK Sync Era, which is pretty sweet. We got Optimism, pretty much all the chains that you want to know about. Well, guess what? I got them. Not only that, we also got some free APIs. That's my favorite word. That's also my favorite food. Free. So that means you guys can go use our REST APIs, use our SQL APIs, and really call and get the data that you want with our, we have really sweet. So I guess let me rewind a little bit here and say we're kind of like a Dune, kind of like a Nansen put together. We got really great data visualization tools. And we got really good wallet tracking as well. So, your favorite whale, what's he doing? Well, come to Footprint and find out. And not only that, but I got to say, we are the most comprehensive GameFi analytics provider out there right now. We got a ton of great solutions. So, we have things like wallet profiles, for example. What are our users doing? We have our growth analytics. What's growth analytics? Well, you plug in that Web 2 data with that Web 3 data. That's super important for games, right? We need to see all aspects of the data to really get that holistic view so we can target our users appropriately. And we do that with wallet profiles, user journeys, user funnels, retention rate, all that sort of fun stuff. And if you're an ecosystem, we can plug in all your products at one time. So that's kind of like, let's compare all of our projects. Which one's lacking? Let's check it out. So that's what we're doing at Footprint. You got me all fired up. It's 11:45 where I'm at right now, 11:45 p.m. And I'm fired up to talk to the fucking boys right now. Let's go. So if
I
you guys
love
are,
it, man. Absolutely. It's infectious. It really is, man. If you come in here with a positive attitude and you try to bring that energy, you'll wake people up. It doesn't matter where they're from. Meta Rides came in here from, damn, he said he was from Australia. I think, at this time of hour, it's time to put up the nets because some of those freak bugs are going to start getting in the house. But he came in here with the passion. He showed us exactly what, Meta Rides is all about and brought it in a coherent way that got people excited just like you are. And that type of positivity is unique to Bulls and Apes project. I will say that, and I have learned that firsthand and taken that from this project. And I love it when people come in here and they match that energy because this is what Web3 is about. So Footprint, man, I love it when you're fired up, buddy. You're
let's
making
go,
me want to
baby.
have a couple
Let's
Ted
go.
Bundys, a couple beers.
You know,
And
I,
it's 10 a.m. here. I can't be drinking. You're going to get me in trouble, Footprint.
Oh,
So
well, it's like 11:45. Also, if I start chopping out here, I'm using the VPN. I'm currently in Guangzhou. I'm chilling. And right after this, guess where guys going? I'm going to party. So I got to get myself fired up for that.
Dude, this is hilarious. This guy comes in here. Let me just recap real quick. This guy comes in here. He says it's super late where he's at. He's had a couple beers already, and he has a completely free API of technology that
Free
people can
APIs.
access. This guy's the best. I mean, honestly, I'm probably going to tap in and see if I can take advantage of these free APIs, because I'll say this to bring it back to a serious point here, right? If there are sincere builders in the space, they're probably considering different outlets of creativity, and the biggest drawback to trying to take on the beast that is a fresh idea is resources. And if you have a resource provider such as an already existing library, an already existing database that APIs can call to, guess what you have now? You have a model that is just waiting for you to put the pieces together like a puzzle. And I'm a big fan of what you guys were talking about. If you have already over 100,000 different NFTs or
That's
collections, excuse me.
1.8 million actually.
Oh, 1.8 million NFTs in the database. This is probably a pretty damn good library that you would want API call to. So I personally actually will be checking out what you're building. I don't want to reveal too many of my creator secrets, but I could definitely take advantage of some calls like this. So, make sure you guys are tapping in if you're a developmentally inclined person, or even if you're not and you're curious what type of possibilities are there in the world of Web3 for creators. These types of free resources are definitely something that you should at least do some market research into. Shout out to Footprint. What's the best way for people to get involved with what you're building?
Yo, so best way is go on our website, check out our data first, see what we're about, right? Footprint.network. Send me a DM on the Twitter. Chances are you send me a DM, it's going to be me that's responding to you. So reach out. Let's get some partnership calls going. One of the things that we're all about at Footprint, right? My favorite saying is everybody eats, right? We want to make sure everybody eats. So that means we want to help you grow, right? While we're growing as well. So we come at you with those growth analytics, those growth solutions. Hit me up and we'll get you involved in the ecosystem. We currently are getting a ton more change. We just got a SWE grant. We just got a rootstock grant. So we got some stuff cooking up, and it's exciting, and we want you to be a part of it. And not only that, we want to make sure that you're targeting the right users, right? Last thing I want to do when I'm an NFT project or I'm a gaming project and I have an airdrop, the last thing I want to do is give it to a bunch of fucking bots. So we help you with that. We help you segment your users and find you those real, genuine users that deserve to get rewarded. And that's what we're about, baby. So check us out, footprint.network. Give us a follow on the Twitter. I love that, right? The bosses love that. It helps me keep my job. Yeah, guys.
You can tell this guy is definitely not one of the developers. It's the duality of man, really, at the end of the day. I have an upcoming call with some Harvard kids that are working on a safety protocol, and it looks pretty brilliant. And quite frankly, I'm looking forward to the call, but I'm also not. And in these AMAs, you have these awesome ambassadors, like the guy behind Footprint that gets to come up here and just give the spiel. And for a
Give
fact
him
this
the
guy's not a
spiel.
there's no way you're a developer, dude. You're getting primed for the night already. You're over here having fun and talking about some of the nerdy things that your team's building. And don't get me wrong, that's fine. I do think that people should be paying attention to some of these free APIs and resources they should be taking advantage of, which is why I went over it. But there's no way you're a developer, dude.
Hey, bro, the more beers I have, the more I talk about the data. That's what's up. I haven't even talked about how we're building reference data, man. Don't get me started on that. We're going to be here all night.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
I
thank you.
think I've got to hold on for a second and say, Chris, I don't think you should be able to blanket statement that. Maybe there are some really kick-ass partying devs and that's how they create all these things. I think it's really, this guy could be a dev genius he could code he could be a crazy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
heads
All
up,
right.
I can't code for shit, but I can make math work at Footprint, so that's what's up.
All right. Well, that answers your question, Tess. I mean, thanks for being fair, at least. I really wasn't. So, sometimes I got to get put in check, guys. Listen, Footprint, thank you guys so much for coming up here and spreading some laughter, and also providing a really killer database. Over 1.8, was it 1.1 or 1.8 million?
1.8, that's 700,000
1
more than
point,
what you thought, baby.
yes. Yeah, it is 1.8 million in the database, guys, for you to call from and pull analytics from. This is going to be a valuable tool for marketing teams. This is going to be a valuable tool for anybody doing market data research if you're a founder. And this is going to be valuable data if you're a collector looking for what whales are interested in. And by the way, just so you guys know down there in the audience, if you're wondering how some people have such successful portfolios, they're tracking whales. So make sure you're taking advantage of footprint, track some whales alongside them, and improve your portfolio performance. Thank
Hey,
you,
bud, I
Footprint.
appreciate it, man. I appreciate the shout out. Appreciate you having me up here. That's what's up.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. All right. We're going to go ahead and take this time to transition it over back to our sponsors for the Megaspace episode number 11. That's going to be Pirates of Fukushu. We've heard a little bit about them, warm intro talking about the successes that are kind of leading up to the project that they're releasing now. This is going to be a multi-chain approach. This is also going to be an anime-driven with possible IP in consideration. I'm going to let these guys cover all the nuances themselves. As always, show some love, but particularly more this time because these guys were kind enough to come in here and support the community that we're trying to achieve, just as we're going to do the same for them and see to that we are providing that love back on them. Pirates of Fukushu, please take it away. Let us know what the project's about. I will not interrupt you. You'll have your full time to give your whole spiel. I'm super, super excited about what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to take it, Park? Sorry, I was excited.
I'll give him. I'll let him know the kind of the story. What kickstarted it?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, and you leave me my part.
Sorry. Well, man, now it's really hard to keep up that energy. Footprints just came in here and tore it up, and I'm falling asleep too. It's 11:50. We're on the same time zone, and you're like 10 levels ahead of me right now. Gosh. All right. Yeah, okay, I'll let you guys know that we're really passionate about what we're building. We're really passionate about NFTs being a utility for what we're pushing for. So this is kind of a little bit my story. Like I said, doing filmmaking, released my first documentary. It did really well for it being like self-funded documentary and stuff that I did with also one of the founders on this project now. But we released it, got awards, we got distribution, went really well. Then we decided to develop it into a docu-series, and we got connected with some great producers, executive producers, and then we got it into the hands of Netflix, and it was going really well. We were like on basically the last contract before we got funding for Netflix on the series. And the way filmmaking works, right, and IP and all this stuff, I basically signed all these contracts and agreements and signed away my soul to make this happen because it's very exciting, right? And right about that time is when COVID hit, and it basically just got canned, right, because it was a travel-based docuseries. So yeah, it got canned, and it was basically all signed away. So it basically would never happen again. And that wasn't even the first time. Like, I mean, I worked on a project for 5 years with a studio, and the director's like my mentor, big friend, and it was a very big budget film. And same thing, it kind of just got lost in all the contractual stuff, ended up not getting worked, and it was like 5 years of work that he put his heart into. And so when that happened, and then when I really dove into NFTs, I was like, man, this is such a huge future for filmmaking, for NFTs, for creatives, for and like you guys all talked about, like even meta writers, everything, for community, for people to get involved, for this to be like a whole new, what's the term Johnny was used, a new meta. So no, I'm really, really excited about it. I mean, this is what we're pushing for. I mean, there's a big issue. You can see Hollywood writers and all the writers on strikes and actors, and a lot of issues with IP. I mean, articles coming out about the writer of Squid Games and also Breaking Bad, and the millions and millions and millions of dollars that got pocketed, and the creators see not one royalty from it, which is just wrong. And this is a new opportunity. This is something that empowers creatives, and then also it empowers the community. It empowers like the fans to get involved that aren't fans. Then they won't even be fans. They're just part of the project and the whole process. So yeah, that's kind of my intro. And then I don't know if I took what you wanted to say, Johnny, but you can jump in.
Yeah, no, you pretty much summed it up perfectly. It's just so the whole idea of us, right, is to you have a problem in Web 2 in filmmaking, which is that Hollywood has just become uncreative. They've just become very, very much just interested in the money they can make, not in empowering creators, not in empowering communities. And the experiences the doc had, right, are not singular ones. Those are all over the place. That's why you have like these strikes going on, like the whole year, right, with actors and screenwriters in Hollywood basically halting due to them. So our whole idea pretty much is to take a new business model, a new idea, and hopefully apply it to Web 2 and actually change filmmaking, right? And make a difference. So the way this could work, right? So say you are a screenwriter, you are somebody who had an idea, you have a story you want to bring into this world. Instead of going to a big producer like Netflix, Disney, whatever, and signing away your soul to make this happen, you could come into Web3, right? And just like us right now, you tell about your story and your whole idea. And instead of signing on producers, you sign on the community first, bring them on board first. And in turn of them funding you through, in our case now, obviously, the mint and stuff, you give them a base, a part of your universe, right? In our case, it's now the characters. And in this way, you sign a little bit of your work, obviously, over to the community, empowering them. You yourself obviously stay in the power of your own creation, and you take away the middleman, right? The producers, which to us sums up the whole idea of Web3 perfectly, right? That's what the Bitcoin white paper was written for, right? To take away banks, and NFTs, I think, are just a new wave of empowering creators, empowering communities, and always taking out the middleman. In our case, producers, but it's the same with music and everywhere, right? So, yeah, that's pretty much the whole idea: empower creators, empower communities, and yeah, get rid of the middleman.
And we see this concept time and time again too, right? We see it with video games, with the play to own model. A lot of the biggest gripes, I think, with most gamers. And, I think if they looked at Web3 like we look at it in this particular use case with video games in consideration, they'd be like, I don't really own my games at all. I have them in a library, but what happens if that service goes down? The games are gone. We're in a digital world now, and it only seems necessary to have digital solutions that cuts out the necessity for some of the middlemen that we're talking about here. Game providers. Why isn't this being already pre-existingly owned on the blockchain with the technology that we have available? I think that this is a possibility in the future, right? Just as you guys are saying, why does there need to even be a need for innovation on a scale such as Hollywood when this type of innovation could be taking place on the blockchain? And I think that's a beautiful concept in general. I apologize for kind of derailing there. I just wanted to throw some 2 cents in there because I really, really, really vibed with what you guys were saying.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And you touched on exactly the right thing. It's pretty much what I was thinking for the whole pitch from Meta Writers, because he summed it up also so perfectly of like, you don't own the assets you have in the game, and you need a way to actually own them. Once again, empower creators. To us, that's the whole idea of NFTs, right? Yeah, there are metas and yeah, there are cool ideas, but the one thing that is going to pull through is that you find a way to actually empower communities and to make people own their own stuff. You don't always need someone in the middle. You don't always need someone who has your custody or who makes decisions for you. You can do that yourself. You can empower yourself, and NFTs are just the wave of technology that we've been waiting for, I think.
No, I agree. And what I'll say is this: anybody who's kind of listening in here, we're reaching over 160 people live right now. I highly recommend you guys tap into some of the communication channels that these guys have available if you're ever wanting to challenge or provoke thoughts. Both of these things are probably welcome conversations for gentlemen like this, because you can tell just from listening to them that they have an idea of where they want the space to go. And I think it probably resonates with a lot of us. So regardless, I want to put the CTA out there. Regardless of whether or not an anime-driven project is something of interest to you, I highly recommend you guys tap in. You give them a follow. You go into the Discord. You pick their brains. You see what they're doing. Because realistically speaking, if this is a multi-chain, driven, community base of NFTs, there's a real possibility that there's a grand scheme at play, and I think you guys should probably know what it is. That kind of segues me here. We're here talking about the future of Web3 NFT technology and use case revolving around it. Now I would like to kind of switch the focus over to the actual branding and also the vision statement of what you guys want to do with Pirates of Fukushi as a whole. How do we see creators empowered with Pirates of Fukushi at the helm?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So, as far as empowering the community and stuff like that, so the way IP works for us and our project is set up, right? We have to obviously keep control of specifically the story IP, right? As you're building a whole universe, you can't have a million different segues, or it won't make sense in the end at first. Um, so I think it's a mixture of everything. So that's why we're making these 3D avatars. We're making things that are utility driven, right? You can use it. You can make a partnership with meta writers or whatever it is, or make your own video from it or game or something like that. There's already community members waiting to get their hands on their avatars to be able to plug it in and give it a shot and stuff. So I think after Pirates Mint, we're already kind of in the process, but getting a pipeline set up, obviously to get the community involved, hear their ideas, and how can we help and how can we get involved in what makes sense, everything like that. So yeah, it's very much like our outlook is community first, and we talked about the SEC, we talked about all this stuff. So we're really careful about how we say anything, right? As much as we're building stuff, but in general, as far as and it's like the big thing is like if you're Web 2 successful, what does that bring to Web 3? And so that's really like always on our mind and always like our focus as well is how do we grow together and how do we make kind of make that community, build that community, empower the community and stuff as we grow too.
Yeah, and if I may jump on that real quick, there's just another take on the same thing, right? Empowering community to me is also something of let people choose what they want to see, right? Because in film right now, I'm generally asking, is anyone asking for Fast and the Furious 12? Is anyone asking for Riverdale season 8? Or is it the producers behind it that are just thinking like, oh, I think we can milk this. We don't have to get creative. We don't have to bring out something new. We don't have to take a risk. Let's just recycle the same stuff, and we're probably going to get be in profits. And they're just way more focused on the money than on creating something. And you have to empower the creatives and the communities to see something creative. So if this, in our case now, you're pitching your idea first, right, to the community. So who is in charge of what hits the cinema next year in our business model? The people, the community, right? Because if you do not like it, you're not gonna want a part of it. And if you don't want a part of it, chances are it's not gonna happen, right? So you're empowering communities also in that sense.
100%. 100%. You guys are nailing it spot on. And I have, really good news for everybody that's listening in, because I think we're going to probably have, some thought provoking conversations, following this space. As a quick teaser for some of the people here at Bulls and Apes Project and all of the listeners from around the world. I really like the philosophy that you guys are prescribing for, building a brand first and foremost. I think the execution is going to be important. I like to be fair and balanced with, the way that I assess projects, and I'm going to do the same thing for you guys. But given, the effort that is being put behind community building, going on tour, heading over to the gym scopes as well, and spending some time over there on that space. By the way, I hope you guys congratulated him for his recent engagement. I brought that up a few times, and if nobody's paying attention, the disconnect between in real life and sometimes online can get skewed, and it's important to remember that we do have bodies outside of this space. So make sure you guys are supporting him over there. But to get back to my point, it's really good to see you guys going on tour and representing yourself in a way that sees you as people who are going to be innovating in the space and also having a prescription for culture. This is the most important face value, I think, for projects to kind of build a brand, actually. And I think it's something that a lot of brand builders lack completely. It's one thing to have shiny art, it's another thing to have a unique utility. But if you don't have a solid voice with passion driven behind it, people aren't going to listen to you, not in this market. So I think you guys are doing a really fantastic job of going about and and taking advantage of the power of community building, because it's been an absolute pleasure so far. What's a really, really easy way for people to get involved right now if they're interested in the philosophies you guys are prescribing, the brand you're building, the possible IP splits, and all of this fantastic stuff you're building?
Yeah, I actually have not just the easiest way, but the most fun way also. Good intro, right?
I love
So
it. I like it.
so what we built, we've always tried to gamify Mint, right? Just to make it more fun, and it's always such an experience, right? You want your Mint to be something people look out for and that they have fun for. So we've gone ahead, and for the past half year, we've built a game. For the whole idea of it is going to exist for 10 days, and it's out now. So the whole idea is pretty much, you have a Mario Kart, not Mario Kart, a Mario style game, like retro style game. You play one of our characters and you run through different levels, and you have to beat up forgotten pirates. You have to beat up monsters. Slash your way through the final boss. And if you make it whole 5 levels, you're going to be whitelisted for our Mint, and actually be able to buy even 10 pirates if you want. So on Mint Day. So yeah, it's a super fun way of just at least just you're able to have fun with the game, right? And then obviously the easiest way to get into the pirates is to own a pirate.
Absolutely amazing, guys. There you have it. That's the way to tap in. We're going to go back into this, and I'll tell you why. Bulls and Apes Project is, for the very first time, going to be doing a one-on-one space with Pirates of Fukushu, where we're going to deep dive into everything philosophy, everything technical, and we're going to be offering some unique things to our audience who take the time to tune in. So if you're a speculative player, I'm not going to give away the secrets of what we're giving away. But if you want to make sure that you're in the forefront, this is what's going to happen. Following this space, there's going to be a tweet that goes out, and it is going to be the announcement of this one-of-one space where we're going to take a deep dive into Pirates of Fukushu and absolutely pick apart all of the beautiful pieces and put them in light for everybody to take a look at. And that is going to be your opportunity to not only tap in and see exactly the time and date that you can be attending, but possibly give you the opportunity to get your foot in the door on some possible unique offerings. So, guys, I don't want you to sleep on this one. We're very, very excited about this for the very first time, with Pirates of Fukushu offering this one-of-one space where we can deep dive in and offer something unique to the community that is taking the time to listen in further. So be on the lookout for that tweet. Pirates of Fukushu. Thank you guys so much for hopping in here and giving such a beautiful philosophical speech, honestly, on where we're heading in Web3, and also a little touch base on what you guys are building. When we touch base again, it's going to be more technically driven, more deep dive, and we're going to make sure that everybody knows exactly why you guys are going to be industry thought leaders, because I really do think that there's the potential there with the way that you guys are speaking about the space. So thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and pass it over to Tess here in a moment, as soon as she is ready to announce a possible winner. I think, are we giving away an ape? Are we giving away an ape today? I think we should be giving away an ape.
Yes, we are going to be giving away an ape. And I am running through right now because I'm looking for someone that's here in the space. And the first one I came up with was not in the space. So unfortunately, that's going to go to the next person in line. So we're going to run it again, and I'll be right back.
There you go. Guys, make sure when you tune into these mega spaces, you are tuning in to the very end, especially if you're trying to walk away with a free APU. We've had it happen a couple times, actually, where people are going to retweet, tag some friends, dip out a little too early, and they miss their opportunity to walk away with a fantastic entry into a legacy community. So make sure you guys are tuning in. We do this on a weekly basis. Is it weekly or bi? Man, time flies by way too quick when you're having fun.
No worries. No worries. We always show up here on a weekly basis.
Yeah. There you go.
And we're gonna always have things to give away, but what it is may be changing.
Ooh, there you go, guys. That's a little bit of alpha there for you. Make sure you're tuning into the next space and the mega space following it. As a reminder, the very next space that we will be doing is going to be a deep dive into Pirates of Fukushu, who was the sponsor of this space and now going to have their own limelight to talk about what they're building even further. Again, show some BAP love. We're a community-driven and loving community in general. So make sure that you guys are showing them what we are about here. And shout out to all of the other faces from other PFPs I see down the line. There is always a fantastic gathering of friends here. And we have a good time. If you're enjoying your time here, make sure you're following us. Make sure you're setting that reminder on these spaces. Also, keep in mind there are additional spaces that the Bulls and Apes Project hosts, including Tankonomics, which is going to be your deep dive into all the intimate detail that happens behind the scenes. This is coming from somebody who was at the forefront when this whole project was created. And if you are interested in a little bit more of an intimate sit down where you're going to hear the good, you're going to hear the bad, you're going to hear the frustrated, you're going to hear the happy, you're going to hear the fucking the excited, pardon my French. It's nothing but uncensored reality of everything Bulls and Apes Project, and they do a very fantastic job over there of giving you guys the intricate detail that happens within Bulls and Apes Project. So I understand everybody has a good time here on the Megaspace, but you need to be checking out some of these other spaces we're hosting because they're freaking fire, guys.
Woo! It's
Tess,
F it Friday apparently, but
I know. I said freaking.
No, I
I
know
said
it's
freaking.
okay. It's exciting. F, my favorite word. It starts with F. It's Friday. But I'm also really excited. Thank you, thanks, Chris. It's so true at BAP. We've got such an amazing community. We have a lot going on. We're so excited. We've got, oh my goodness, so many things. And as I was going through for this next, the winner, I'm about to announce. I have a winner. I have a little more alpha to drop. I know I said, we different things we have away, and Chris doesn't even know about this yet. No one knows because it's in beta. But if you guys attended last week, I have huge, massive apologies. Anyone who hosts spaces, we all know how we usually do this giveaway thing, right? We use what is now RIP Twitter picker, right? He's dead. I don't know what happened. It's gone. Bye-bye. Well,
It's gone?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's been down for like over a week.
That's the saddest news I've heard all
No,
week.
don't be sad. I can help you.
Let's hear
Listen,
it. Ready.
we can help you. At BAP, we can help you. We've got a little fun thing that we've got in beta. It's called the X Picker. So now that's what
Let's go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. What is it? So it's effectively a new utility for running raffles.
Yeah.
It's a quick on-demand tool.
Yeah. Well, it's in beta, so I don't have a lot of details, but yeah, and you guys, it's so funny, by the way, side note, Chris hates soundboards, so the fact that I just made the cheers, he's like he's like ugh. Oh my goodness.
Well,
but
listen, you said okay, listen, I understand that you got to play this facade, whatever, you can't release too much alpha, yada yada yada. Let's get down to the meat and bones of it. Go ahead and tell us what it's all about.
All right, what it's all about is picking winners, and the winner for today's space is here in the space. Congratulations to Niners Man. You've got some really great PFPs. I checked out your profile. I love what I saw as well. So I'm glad that this went to someone who is obviously a Web3 supporter here in the space. And that's at NINERS Man, MAN1. That is Niners Man. You are the winner of this amazing ape. Do me a favor, the main BAP account here, go ahead and shoot it a DM, go in the Discord, open a ticket. It's our version of a 2FA to verify that you are, in fact, our winner. So congratulations, and we will be able to send you over that ape.
Absolutely amazing. And guys, I tried to pull out more alpha. I promise I tried. Tess is teasing a brand new utility that Bulls and Apes Project is going to be providing in some way or another. I don't have any, and she's not lying. I don't have any information on it. So if you're interested on that, we might actually be able to leak some alpha in our intimate, sit down with Pirates of Fukushu one-on-one space. So if you're looking for some extra incentive other than the possibility of walking away with some new prizes, I recommend you tap in because I'm going to go behind the scenes and ask for Tess to get permission to drop some alpha in that space. So the next space, which is going to be sponsored by Pirates of Fukushu, guys, make sure you're tuning in. Some exciting rewards. Congratulations to the ape winner. Thank you so much to Pirates of Fukushu and everybody else that tuned in today. It was an absolutely phenomenal space. One for the books is always reaching up to 200 live listeners on BAP Megaspace episode 11, sponsored by Pirates of Fukushu. Guys, catch the next space. Announcements going out very soon on the BAP Twitter. We'll catch you in that one, in the next Megaspace, and in Tankonomics. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.